Welcome to the 2020 Spreading Hope virtual celebration of Hope Collaborative, yet another hallmark of 2020. My name is Charlie Vidito, and I'm honored to serve on the board of Hope Collaborative with a bunch of great folks, and I also serve as a missions minister at Southeast Christian Church. Hope Collaborative mission statement reads, "As one church body, Hope Collaborative exists to bring wholeness, unity, and healing to our community." At its foundation, Hope Collaborative rests on the truth that there is one body, one spirit, one Lord, one faith, and we are called to one hope. Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father praying that his church would experience that same oneness that he had with the Father. Now more than ever, our community is longing to experience this love and unity. Jesus said, "The world will know you are my disciples by the way you love one another." This alone may be our most effective evangelistic tool. The work of reversing poverty, injustice, and hopelessness is too great and too hard. It requires all hands on deck, the church united, going as one to transform our community. Hope Collaborative mobilizes the church to serve some of the most vulnerable children in our community. Imagine a classroom with 25 students, and I realize that's hard to imagine nowadays. And with school at home now, learning is even harder than ever. And one student has a bad day, the whole classroom has a bad day. Through in-school mentoring, Hope Collaborative says, please allow us to love that struggling student and walk with them until they know they're loved. Imagine when Hope Collaborative has 1,000 mentors in place, all from the local church. How many children's lives will be impacted by that? Hope Place, another ministry of Hope Collaborative, is located in the Beachmont community of our city. And this community has long been the place where newly arrived immigrants land and start placing roots. Hope Place is there to minister to our friends that have come from around the world, many from horrific, traumatizing situations. The diversion program hosted through the local church brings hope for a different life for teenagers. These teens have been invited by the court system to right their wrong and live their life in a way that they understand how their actions affect others. Many of you have joined us today that have made all this possible. I'd like to take a moment and recognize the generous companies and the community sponsors who have already begun the journey of spreading hope with us. A big thank you goes to our gold level sponsors: Kentucky Farm Bureau, Southeast Christian Church, PNC Bank, and 2020 Consulting. Thank you for your generosity. And we thank each one of you that have joined us today. You will be encouraged today, I promise. Now please allow me to introduce to you a dear friend and the Chief Empowerment Officer of Hope Collaborative, Marita Willis.
Your attendance on this 4th day of December is not by chance, but by intention and purpose. On behalf of Hope Collaborative, I personally extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you, my brothers and sisters under the sound of my humble voice. Each of you could have been engaged in literally million activities during this pandemic. However, you chose Hope Collaborative. You chose to attend our 2nd annual Spreading Hope Luncheon. I am Marita Willis, the Chief Empowerment Officer at Hope Collaborative. We are entering the 10th month of COVID pandemic. This has been a tough time for our country, state, city, and families impacted by this virus. There are times that I've had to lean on the promise of Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. During this season of uncertainties, our community faces hardships every day. Issues such as poverty, homelessness, family separation, loneliness, family violence, trauma, medical inequities, and the effects of racism. These issues have become magnified tenfold and even further reaching during this season. One thing that I'm constantly reminded of is that we need to exercise grace and compassion during this time. This is time for the village to come together. This is the only way our community will find healing. We are sisters and brothers keepers. The words of Psalm 71:14 have resonated within my own spirit more deeply than ever. As for me, I will always have hope. In spite of everything is going on, I will always cling to my hope. Allow me to briefly share a part of me, my own journey as a Black inner-city youth, growing up in Park Hill housing projects on the southeast side of Louisville. Don't get it twisted now. The brick and the mortar of Park Hill did not define Marita Willis. However, the people around me shaped my thinking and influenced who I am today. The love and sense of community was strong. My mother was a working single parent, raising 7 children, and to say the least, that was tough. Education was important to my mother. Literally getting a good education was going to be the golden ticket to a better life. One thing my mom did was to ensure we had a solid education, so she enrolled all of us in St. Anne's Catholic School. It was at St. Anne's that I met my best friend for life, Sharon. We did everything together, school and beyond. It was also 1970s and harsh realities surrounded our community. Drugs, poverty, abuse, you name it, it was there. One shining light, our My Hope connection, was my first teacher of color, Mrs. Green. She was a real-life shero. Mrs. Green not only taught us English and math, she taught us about life and how to live life to the fullest. During our after-school session, Mrs. Green provided the extra tutoring needed to help us keep up our grade level. After our academic sessions, she would teach us how to play the guitar and the fundamentals of tennis. Mrs. Green was our Serena Williams. She was able to reach a part of us that was uncharted and never touched before. We wanted to be like her, dress like her, speak like her, and have her desire for learning new things. Mrs. Green, she set the bar high, and every day we strive to match her expectations. Plus, years later, I am still grateful for the relationships and bond that was created at St. Anne's. Periodically, I will see Mrs. Green and her husband at a U of L game or at Shawnee Park playing tennis. We always manage to find each other. One thing is for sure, she played a major role in shaping me in the formative years. She is only one example of the people who showed me hope. So many people in the community stepped up to invest in me. I mattered, and their investment paid off with big dividends for the community that I love, live, and play in to this day. So you see, I know firsthand that the issues facing our community are not easy issues to solve. It's going to take something bigger than you or me. I believe the only way to find healing during this time will be by not only holding on tightly to our hope, but spreading that hope to others. We have the ability and, yes, the power to open inward to reach outward. Spreading hope and sharing hope is what we are all about at Hope Collaborative. Our overarching mission has never wavered. We spread and share hope by extending our hands and our hearts to serve our neighbors. Hope is a food box distributed at our Community Development Center. Hope is a mentor reaching out and checking in with their mentees. Hope is our division leaders helping youth facing criminal charges and how to right their wrongs. Hope is students showing up at the Virtual Learning Hub to greet their mentors. Hope is your presence today. This is a perfect time to reach out to those who need a ray of hope and kindness. Our efforts don't have to be extravagant. They only have to be sincere and thoughtful. This has indeed been a difficult season for our community. If I'm honest, I sometimes worry. For example, this fall, we implemented our Virtual Learning Hub so that our students could receive the additional help and support they desperately needed. It was that troublesome seeing that some students had not logged on to receive instructions or complete assignments since the start of the pandemic in March. This is problematic because data is showing us many students face multiple societal challenges during this pandemic, that then creating more academic challenges. There is a lack of reliable technology. Many students are caring for younger siblings and assisting them with their schoolwork to only forego their own school responsibilities. Their support system of teachers and friends are only available virtually. They are hungry and cannot easily access the school's generosity food donations. Fortunately, our committed, hardworking staff and volunteers have been able to work with our students to catch them up on their assignments and to see significant gains academically, as well as gains with their confidence and believing. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. If Hope Collaborative had not provided these vital and key opportunities for students to attend our virtual learning hub, these students would have fallen further and further behind. Then I worry about the students in our community that we have not reached yet. Although things are difficult, I earnestly pray you can see that there is still so much good that is happening in our community. I am personally relieved that so many churches have found creative ways to continue their services and build stronger and more resilient communities. Many organizations in our community have collaborated with each other and include Hope Collaborative. By design, these partners identify and meet the most personable and vital needs during this unprecedented time. Schools and teachers have worked hard to posture student success and to ensure this vulnerable population continues receiving instructions outside of the classroom. It is my hope that we will continue to see even more positive gains in the future. I would love to see this as a launching point that allows for more innovative programming through technology, creating more learning opportunities and more cultural and diversity responsibilities in our classrooms, where all cultures and learning styles are respected, nurtured, valued, and accepted in every facet of our community. My vision for Hope Collaborative is that those we serve complete our programs and feel empowered, connected, and successful, and in return are sharing their best self with our community. The first way we can do this is providing strong, formative relationships. These relationships are essential for students' future success as well as for healing from trauma. In a recent Search Institute study, it was reported that 1 in 5 youth report having 0 strong relationships in their lives. I believe the number one thing we can do to change the trajectory of a young person's life is to provide healthy, strong, and consistent relationships. This will take a village that is vested and postured to take on tough challenges and provide the solutions that will positively impact our youth and children. Census data report that there are over 700,000 people living in Jefferson County. Approximately 16% of our population is between the ages of 5 and 18 years old. This is around 112,000 youth. If 1 in 5 children do not have strong developmental relationships, that is over 22,000 youth in our community that need someone to walk through life with them. This will take all of us. The second thing we can do to help individuals to become successful members of our community is to equip them with marketable skills. My vision is that every student that departs our program will have a marketable skill that will allow them to gain entry into college, trade school, or find a meaningful job that will pay a decent wage to live their dream. During this pandemic, we have seen how technology is essential in functioning of our society. From the local convenience stores to our large corporation, technology makes the world function more efficiently. Our students need a space in the technology realm. For example, there's a high demand for skilled coders, and it is predicted for that career will double throughout the next decade. There are programs and certifications that teach coding without the investment of a 4-year degree. And because we need to prepare students to be competitive in the job marketplace, I would love to see Hope Collaborative offer opportunities for students and their parents to participate in these types of programs. The chain of poverty will not be broken until we focus on the entire family. We need to raise their hope for a future that looks different today for a better tomorrow. As with all of the programs, this will take not only financial support, but also committed volunteers that can lead the challenge along with the meaning and realistic mentoring for students. It is going to take all of us to make this vision a reality. I believe we can do it. I also believe we have not because we ask not. While this has been a difficult time for our community, I am encouraged by seeing the many ways that we have stepped up and come together. As we begin to close out 2020, I want to thank each and every one of you that joined us in spreading hope this year. The sacrifices you have made have not gone unnoticed. Every second, minute, and hour that you invested, every ounce of your treasures that were cheerfully given, to all the supplies that were donated, every card and phone call of encouragement and support. This is what I call spreading hope. You are our hope, and our community so desperately needs it. And to our gold level sponsors, Kentucky Farm Bureau, PNC Bank, Southeast Christian Church, 2020 Consultants, thank you for making this possible. For those who are joining the Hope Train for the first time, get ready. I want to invite you to join the hope journey of spreading even more hope as we enter into 2021 and beyond. There is much work to be done, and yes, we can. The time, purpose, and plan is set. The only element that is missing to help us spread hope is you. Whatever way you can join Hope Collaborative. Thank you, and may God bless you during this season of hope, and may God continue to bless Hope Collaborative.
Hope Collaborative is an organization that is intentional about touching the lives of children and youth, making an impact in their lives, knowing that the youth that we serve, they are our future, knowing that we have a responsibility to love them where they are and help them to see their purpose, the power that they possess to become whatever they want to be. So Hope Collaborative is an organization that is determined to help our youth understand all that they were created to do and be, to help our families understand the importance of family, to be that light in the darkness, and to love people where they are.
You know, we have 3 major programs, and one is our public school outreach. That's where we go into Jefferson County, Oldham County, Southern Indiana, and coming soon is Hardin County, where we ask a mentor to give us an hour a week. And one mentor can have up to 4 kids, and it's the same sex. And they go into these schools and they just love these kids just the way that they are.
Hope Collaborative does help fill a void for our students. I think that the positivity and the sharing of the stories and their listening to those stories, our students light up when their mentors are here. When they come downstairs and they see their mentor sitting on the bench, you can tell already that their day is now whole, that piece that they've been waiting for to just find a special connection, because every student does not get attached to a mentor. So we pump it up, we make it a big deal, and we make it something that is very worthwhile and beneficial for our students. students, I do believe that the Hope Mentors help fill a space for students where they might not otherwise get that adult attention and that adult love and that more one-on-one focus and attention in their school day.
In Jackson's 8th grade year, he went to his guidance counselor because he was having some troubles with bullying. And she was the one who actually introduced it to him. They agreed that it would be a good program for him, and she called me to see if I would give permission.
I went to my counselor about it, and she told me about the Hope program. And at first I didn't want to go because I didn't know if I'd really fit in with the people. But now it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
It went great. Jax really liked the program. It seemed to be helping him, and he was doing really well, kind of finding out that other kids struggle with similar issues. Then we reached about November of that year, and my family went through some pretty traumatic things. My husband has sustained a pretty traumatic event, and he turned to alcohol to try to help cope with that situation. He kept it hidden, and by the time we realized that it was a problem, it was a really big problem. And so he had to actually leave the home and go into treatment. And for a 13-year-old boy, that was pretty hard to hold on to. Having a mentor, though, was immense for Jax. He had a friendship, he had someone he could go to and talk to, and then when this really big, scary thing happened in his life, he had that person he could go to. They weren't going to give him a grade, they weren't going to call me at home. It could just be an adult that had his best interests at heart. So it was really, really important.
You had fun. My mentor specifically, he made every day fun. He brought in cards. He would find unique ways for us to get our point across, but still have a bright mood.
If it weren't for Hope Collaborative, I don't know where my son would be. He was in a really dark place and a really scary time, and I was trying to juggle big decisions for our family. His mentor, Ed, really gave him that friendship and that guidance that he needed, and I'm immensely grateful. You have my gratitude.
The Hope Collaborative program and the mentors that they provide are an important asset to our community because they help shape the lives of our youth who are our future. Hope Collaborative bridges the outside with the inside, and having these community members come into our school, share their outside world with our students, support them, and making those connections, that's invaluable. Our students can experience and connect with different career paths and sources of motivation that they might not otherwise be exposed to.
And then we have Hope Place, which is our community development center, and they provide outreach and services to meet the needs in our South Louisville community.
So Hope Place is a community center in the Beachmont neighborhood of South Louisville. We are a trauma-informed community center. We work with kids and adults, families in the neighborhood to help bring healing, opportunity, purpose, and education to this neighborhood.
I think more than anything, I want these kids to know that they can, that they are capable, that they are able, that they are loved and valued, but that they can actually then, out of that love, like become whatever career they want to succeed in whatever they want to. I believe that starts with just understanding that they're important. And when someone looks at them, they see someone valuable, but I want them to then move forward from that value and to change the world.
I really love this community and what a melting pot it is. I am in charge of the ESL program here, and on any given day I have students from Somalia, Cuba, Iraq, Congo, all in a classroom together learning. And it's just a beautiful image of the kingdom, of what, the kingdom of God and of heaven is going to look like, of tribes, tongues, and nations coming together. And so I love just the melting pot of a neighborhood and all the people who get to come here and bringing the people of the neighborhood together, because it is such a diverse community.
I think Jesus sat down with the less of the likely that he would sit down with. But he spoke to those that were hurting. He spoke to those that were sinful, those that were lost, and I think he calls us to do the same thing. And so we just try to be the legs and arms of Jesus and just touch people where they are. But why care? I think that's what we're called to do as Christians, is to care and to take care of our brothers and sisters as God continues to take care of us.
We are a safe place where people know that they can come. We've provided meals for clients who have lost family members. We've helped with funeral expenses. We've provided case management. We've taken people to rehab services. But really, what we desire to do here at Hope Place is to be present, to be willing to be interrupted, to listen, to love people well, to be a light in the community, to truly notice each individual person who walks through this door.
I guess last year we entered into a diversion workshop, and these are offered to encourage youth that have minor offenses. So we help them walk with them to right their wrong.
I was really skeptical, actually, like horribly skeptical at first. I thought it was going to be like the first day of school where it's like, hi, I'm Ozzy, I like fishing, and this is it. And the first day it was, and I was kind of like, okay. And each week it was slowly stepping you deeper into what our lessons were, whether it was talking about building a stronger community or, you know, what our definitions of and good friends and stuff like that. It started to kind of sneak up on you like, wow, I am kind of reshaping morals without even, you know, sitting down and telling myself to rethink them. It was just kind of natural talking with other people.
We don't want to grow out, we want to grow deep, to give them self-worth. We want to give them responsibility. We want to give them marketable skills. We want to give them confidence, and we want to share our Jesus with them.
Diversion is a scary word, first of all, especially as a little kid. And even though I'm 18 now and gone past it, I'm still a kid at heart and, you know, still live with my parents. It's one of those things that you're not ready for it. It's a big grown-up word, and it's terrifying. And something like to match it with Hope Collaborative, which sounds much more open and just kind of like just a safe place to be like, all right, you got in some trouble, here's your way to redeem yourself, fix some things. And I think hopefully it did as much for the other people as it did me. And kind of, it really did divert me onto a better track.
You know, I can't imagine life in Louisville, Kentucky without Hope Collaborative. That would devastate our community. There is not another faith-based organization that provides the services that Hope Collaborative does in the manner that we do it.
Oh man, Hope Collaborative has made a huge impact here at Simple. Hope Collaborative has given our students just another person to support them, cheer them on, hold them accountable, be there to listen, someone who's consistent that creates another positive experience for their school day.
One thing that I know for sure is that every neighborhood needs a Hope Place. No doubt about it. I can't imagine my life without my Hope Place community.
I mean, we are surrounded by people who are hurting and people who have needs, both physical and personal, emotional, spiritual needs. And I think it's our job to go out and to love our neighbors and to bring healing and bring love and peace and hope to the community. And so that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do.
What inspires me the most about Hope Collaborative is that we are really at the beginning and just touching the surface of what we can do in the vision for our organization as we continue to seek ways to expand our mentor programs and to meet the needs of the families and the communities where we serve, and not just meet a need, but meet their needs, so needs that they specifically have, and continue to build partnerships in the community and continue to grow in our schools. We have just touched the surface of doing that, and what excites me is that there's so much opportunity to grow and to go deeper and to serve more families as we continue to build out the vision of Hope Collaborative.
Hope Place has a dramatic impact on people all over our community. Some are refugees who come to our community from very dramatic backgrounds. The story you are about to hear is an example of the life they come from and the future they are offered through the ministry of Hope Place. We've hidden her identity for privacy reasons, but her story is a clear example of who we are to people in our community.
What do you do when everything feels so new? New surrounding, new language, new place to call home. You turn when you need a new start. when you need help, when you need hope. The life in Somalia before the war, I have a middle class life. Then we have a civil war, bad civil war, bombs, guns. My neighbor and my friends, they die during the war. We decide to leave because we can't stay. When I came here, we have for a couple days, my husband passed away. With my kids, 9 kids, my husband passed away. I can't speak English. We moved in Kentucky after that hard time. We moved in Kentucky. My neighborhood, 60% was the new people, refugee. And homeless, they open homeless. The refugee people is not secure. They scared because they are new. They can't speak English. They can't looking for, they don't trust nobody. They can't looking for help because they don't know how they say, I need help. Now, the kids on homeless, they look like brothers and sisters. And then teachers and helper and office workers, they all try to best. I trust them. They help my kids. They help me ESL class. They give them food for the kids. I'm not worried about their feed them. I'm not worried about their safety to play outside. We are family. We're lucky. They come here. They teach them. They help them the computers. I never use the computer. I can't help with them. They use the computer. They come in. They love them. I'm thankful because I'm not worried about my kids after school or helping the homework, or I'm not worried about to feed them when he's here, and social life has a social life. So we have, it's good for the community. And everybody, I think they need like place, whole place. I feel someone, I trust them, someone I love them, someone it look like they love us, someone who love our kids, not harm, teach them, play with them. The kids, they look like right now is a brother and sister in different colors, different religion, and different country. But they're same boat. They are same boat. We are not happy when the people know you until they learn English and they understand what the other people say. They don't trust nobody. They just homeless. They can't get help. So they need a lot of places like a whole place to tell them welcome and show them love and show them the kids to bring together and they learn each other. They feel brother and sister and someone love him and make it their house. I feel we're important. They call me when I have a problem. They call me when I need help. They call me when I'm sick and my kids tell them my mom is not feel good. What help you need? You trust them and someone you see welcome their house like a family. We're family. We are part of a whole place family.
Hello, I am Kim Rice, the Executive Principal at the Academy of Shawnee. I had not been at Shawnee long before I observed our students needed more support. As you know, to support a child, it takes a village. Our amazing, dedicated staff do everything they can to help our students be the most successful they can be in both academics and life. And we know we cannot do it alone. So we turn to Hope Collaborative to help us fill in those gaps. I'm not sure how well you know about Shawnee, but it's the last school in the West End as you enter into Indiana. Sometimes being the last is scary, and we often feel forgotten. People forget about our kids, and sometimes it even feels like we don't exist. That's why having Hope Collaborative mentors is so powerful. There is power in having someone in your life who is not your family or teacher, who shows up for you. So many of our students face difficult lives outside of the walls of Shawnee. Mondays are especially hard when they are away from the consistency of the school and often exposed to the traumas at home. They come back on Monday morning running late, closed off, anxious, and in some cases feeling hopeless. All of that changes when we get them back on track and when our Hope Collaborative mentors walk in the door. They are our hope. Whether they are enjoying a lively game of dominoes while playfully discussing life's challenges or going over the math lesson that has a student stuck, it is all making a difference. We are here today to ask you to be a part of that difference. We want you to be that hope for our students. You can do that in so many ways by giving your time, talent, and treasure. Your time with our students is hope. Consider volunteering as a mentor. Sharing your talent with our students is hope. Consider helping a child with their homework. Giving your treasure to our students is hope. Consider making a donation to Hope Collaborative and support the holistic, impactful programming we have heard about today. Here, in a few moments, we are going to point you to our website to consider making your gift of hope today. But first, we want to highlight for you what we need most. With the challenges of COVID stacking on top of our problems that were already there before this pandemic hit, kids needed us now more than ever. We need long-lasting solutions and support to help them recover from the realities of COVID and to prepare for the aftermath we know our children and schools will experience. There is a special call to action for those of you who can and want to create this long-term sustainability, and that is to join our Hope Society. Our Hope Society is a special group of donors that we are unveiling for the first time today. That's right, you can be one of the first. To join the Hope Society, individuals and companies such as yourself give $1,000 a year for 5 years. Over the course of 5 years, you create the same consistency and hope we need to thrive as an organization. Now, $1,000 a year may sound a lot to you. We like to break it down like this. That's only $84 a month or $21 a week. We don't know about you, but we can spend that easily running to get coffee, grabbing something in the drive-thru, or hitting that Amazon button too many times on that one thing we forgot to buy at the store. We cannot think of a better way to spend $21 a week. And we have some exciting news for those of you who joined the Hope Society today. Your pledge is being matched. That is right. We have a generous donor, Thrivent, who is matching your society gifts for up to $35,000 today. That means if 35 of you join today, your first $1,000 will be matched. And please hear us say this, regardless of the amount you give today, your gift matters. It is going to take all of us to support Hope Collaborative, and we ask that each and every one of you give us what we can today. We are now going to direct you to the Hope Collaborative's website to make a donation. You can click on the link in the comments or go to hopeccd.org. When you land on that page, you will see you have the option to join the Hope Society, as we have shared with you today. And then there is an option for everyone to make a monthly gift or make a one-time gift. We are going to be quiet for 2 minutes to give everyone a chance to make their gift. Please don't go away. We will be right back. We are now going to turn it back over to Charlie, who is going to give us a final farewell.
Thank you guys for being here today. You know, God put the church in our city to be relevant, to transform our city. And Hope Collaborative is a key component of that, to mobilize the church to have an impact for our city. Thank you guys. Your commitment to Hope Collaborative will continue to make a great difference in our community.